Guys, isn't that card just so cute? That's a waterfall card, and they're really simple and easy to make. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I made that card today. You're just going to need some cardstock. I'm using our in colors that are going to retire in June. So if you like these colors, you're going to want to go ahead and get these colors. And I'm also using the Succulent Garden Designer Series paper. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to get started with this. What you're going to need is you're going to need a A2 card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm using the Delightful Dijon for that. And then you're going to need another piece of cardstock, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And this one here is mint macaron. Then your Designer Series paper. This one here is cut out at 3 3/4 by 5. And then you're going to need 4 squares. These are 2-inch squares. These were cut from Watermelon Wonder. And then 4 squares. These were cut out of the stitch shape framelits. And these here were cut out of Very Vanilla. If you don't have the stitch shape framelits, you can cut out 4 squares, and they would be cut at 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So, and then you're also going to need 2 strips of paper. This here is cut out of Dapper Denim. This is not part of the In Color series. So this bigger strip, this one here is cut at 2 by 9, and then this strip here was cut 1 by 1 1/4. So this guy here, the bigger strip, we're going to have to score on here. So I'm just going to get my scoring tool out here, and just to show you guys so that you can see. The scoring is going to be at, you're going to start your first scoring at 2. And then you're going to go up to 2 3/4. And I'll leave all these measurements right here in the video. Then you're going to go up to 3 1/2. And then your last score line would be 4 1/4. So your score lines should look like that. You should have your 3, 4 score lines there. So we're going to go ahead and set your cutter aside, your paper trimmer, and we're just going to bend these and just crease those score lines. Bend them back and forth. This is going to be the working mechanism of the card. So we can just go ahead and set that aside. So what I've used for this card is the Special Reason stamp set. And I just used the flower and the leaf on here, the larger leaf and the smaller flower. And then I have the Thoughtful Banners stamp set with all kinds of different greetings and sayings you can put on here. So I use this for the Mother's Day. It's the Happy Mother's Day and then Mom. So I'm gonna do something different, but this has all kinds of awesome little sayings on here, and they fit nicely on the front of the card. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how we get started. So you're just gonna take your strips, your Very Vanilla strips, or not strips, but your squares, and we're just gonna do some stamping. And I did the flower twice. I stamped out the flower. And I did it with our inks, which these will just be disappearing too because these are our in colors. So I did one of the flowers with Watermelon Wonder. And then the other flower I did with Delightful Dijon. So I'm just cleaning off my stamp. This is our Stampin' Scrub through Stampin' Up, and it comes with, you buy some spray for it. We have cleaner spray, and one side is wet, one side is dry. You can also use baby wipes to clean off your stamps. These do a better job because they get in, they have the fibers that get into the stamps, but the baby wipes do work in a pinch. So we're going to just do a Delightful Dijon. And then we will do mint macaron for our leaf. So I'm just going to take the larger leaf and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on that square. And then my final square, I'm just going to go ahead and figure out, I'm going to figure out something in here and then I'll stamp that. So I've just stamped out Happy Birthday from the Thoughtful Banners. So what you're going to do is just glue these on your Watermelon Wonder squares. I'm just using regular snail adhesive to just anchor these down. So once we have these here, you're going to bring in your blue strip of paper with the score lines that have been folded, and you're going to just bend it in half so that all your score lines are right here, and there should be a little piece sticking off here. So we're going to start with this bottom piece. I think that's the easiest way to go. You don't want to start up here, you want to start from the bottom and work your way up. So I want the saying on the bottom, Happy Birthday, because when you pull it, you can't see the saying until you pull it, and then you'll see the saying right there. So I'm going to use just my snail, actually I'm going to use the fast fused just to make sure that it's anchored down really well. This first one you could do snail adhesive because it's going flat down, but the next ones I would do the snail adhesive on here. So you're just, or I'm sorry, the fast fuse. The snail adhesive is good for this first one because it's all anchored down, but then I would recommend doing the fast fuse for your next 3 of them. So just make sure you get enough fast fuse on there, and then just decide what do you want to happen next. Do you want the leaf or one of your flowers? So I'm going to do one of the flowers because I have 2 of them, and then I'll do the leaf next and then a flower on top. So you just glue that down and then do the same thing. Take your little strip that's folded here. Just be careful you don't put any of the fast fuse in between where the where your fold is, like I just did, and you could just rub that away. And then your top layer, you could even do the adhesive strips if you wanted to, which you'd have more control over. So this will be your folding mechanism. So then I just go ahead and I just kind of refold them just to make sure that they're going to work nicely. Kind of give them another nice little crease. Okay, so now what you'll do is you'll take your designer series paper and your mint macaroon cardstock, and we're going to glue them on top of each other. And I'm just going to use my snail adhesive. You kind of just center it around your card base. So we're going to take our Big Shot. We're going to take your Big Shot platform. You're going to take your thin die adapter. Then you're going to take one of your plates and you're going to put that down, and we're going to take 3/4 of the way. And just run that right through. Okay guys, so once you have your 3/4 of a circle punched out, or if you use the framelits. Then we're going to just attach it to the base of your card. And I'm just going to use regular snail adhesive. And then you're going to take your blue strip, and we're going to use fast fuse on here. And you're just going to take a couple of strips of fast fuse at the edges of your strip here. Make sure you put enough on so it holds it down very well. So you'll have it like this. You'll have your adhesive on both ends. And then we're just going to anchor this down about 3/4 of the way on your card front. Before you press it down, just make sure it's nice and straight, and then go ahead and just press that right down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your strip with all of your pieces that you glued on earlier, and we're just going to slide this strip right in underneath that blue. And then you're going to want to put it, just get it to where you want it, whichever looks good here. And then we're going to flip this up, and we're going to, right in the middle of this, we're going to put some fast fuse. Then we're going to bring this forward and make sure it's straight. And I think I like that. And we're going to anchor that right down there. So you should have, once you anchor that down, you'll be able to pull this and it'll create your waterfall effect. So now what you'll do is, what I did was I just took a hole puncher, and I should have done this before I glued it on here, but I just punched a little hole in the bottom like so, and then I just took a piece of ribbon. This is just our basic gray ribbon, and I just put that through the hole. I should have done this before I glued this down. And that's all I did. And then I'll just trim the ends here with a pair of scissors. And that's it. That's the simple little card. And you can even, put a strip or stamping an image here if you wanted to. There's a lot of things you can do with these. And like I said, it was pretty simple to make.